Hey guys, it's Megan and Karen today with Mind, Body, Spirit Home here for your first video for Spark on Monday. And today we're going to do like an introductory video with Karen. Just let her introduce herself to you guys, let you guys know who she is and how far she's come, what brought her on to be part of the team with Mind, Body, Spirit Home, and all the messages that she has to share with you guys.
So I'm Karen. I have 2 little boys. I found Megan a year and a half ago through Facebook. Prior to that, I knew that I wanted to try a different kind of approach to how I was feeling, and within a month it popped up on Facebook and I messaged her.
Synchronicities.
Yeah.
When you're ready to do something, it'll finally come along. One of the things that Karen and I have talked about a lot, and I talk with a lot of my other clients about, is the fact that a lot of people can say they want a change, or a lot of people can say that they're not happy with themselves or the way that their life is going, and they just say it a lot until they really back themselves into a corner. And you guys have probably heard me say that before too. You back yourself into a corner and say either something changes or something's going to die, and it can be literal or metaphorical. So if it's a problem with drugs, you can say either something changes or I'm literally going to die. Or it can be a relationship and say either something changes or this relationship is going to die. So I know that you dealt with a lot of this, everything that we've dealt with over the last year, your whole life basically, and then tried different therapies and stuff, but nothing really clicked. But when you're really ready, it's always going to be there, ready to run with you when you hit the ground. So do you want to talk a little bit today about like where you were mentally a year ago? Because I think it's really awesome to just in perspective look at how much and how drastically you can change just within a year, because you just started with me a year ago in January.
So I've kind of been a whole mixing pot of issues, like a little bit of everything. Kind of went into it, and I was at a place where I knew what I wanted. I knew something had to change, and I had to find a way. And it wasn't even a rock bottom. It wasn't like a forced change. It wasn't a deep depressive state.
Not like your family was like falling apart, and people were like, you know.
I mean, I had all of the history of those breakdowns, but at the time of looking for help, it wasn't that. I actually was newly pregnant and knew that I went through a really hard time after my first son, and I knew from a lifetime of different therapies, a lifetime of medications, that it would work, but it didn't fix anything. And I knew I wanted to feel my emotions, but I wanted to be in control of my emotions,
right? To
not have them control me. And none of that stuff was helping it. None of the therapies that I had did that, and none of the drugs did that. So I knew that I had to make a change, or I was about to go through it again. Right. And it was the best thing that ever happened to me.
I think a lot of people just kind of want that quick fix, and in the moment of it, don't, and a lot of people that go into depression like later in their life, because not everybody has it their whole life, or anxiety, or postpartum, sometimes it does come on as an adult,
or they just manage it,
right? Yeah, exactly. And I think that a lot of people just want that quick fix, or just get it away from me, I don't want to deal with it anymore. And then they learn how to deal with how they feel with the medicine or with the therapy that's not quite working. They learn how to deal with not having emotions.
Well, and I think I've been at the place where I've always was really good my whole life of going on and off medication, because I would get to a place where I feel great, I'm going to go off my medication. And then it would be a cycle, and I was always really good of understanding I'm at a point where I need it. Like, I can't handle it anymore.
Right.
So I knew when I got to that point, it was a quick fix.
Right.
But I was in pain, like emotionally in pain, and hated the way that I felt. So it was what I needed.
It doesn't really make it go away. It just makes you not care about it so much. I think I shared that that video with you that I saw about the rats.
Yes.
Where the rats had the anxiety, and then because one of the rats was trapped, and the rat that wasn't trapped felt the anxiety of the other one, so it went and helped it. And then in the second experiment, they took the 2 rats and trapped one and didn't trap the other. And the one that wasn't trapped, they gave an anxiety medicine of some sort, and it was still acting distressed, like it could feel the anxiety of the other one, but it didn't care enough to do anything about it.
It didn't try to escape or anything.
Right.
And that's what, like, my medicines, like, it was survival mode, because I got to a point where I was like, I can't survive on my own. So I just needed to survive. And then I hit the point where I am tired of surviving. I want to enjoy my life. I want to enjoy the people in it. And I want to feel all of it. But I knew that I didn't know what I know now. But I knew that I could not feel it.
So what do you know now? What are some of the things that you felt before, like the negative emotions or the anxiety, and some things that you do now to help them, and whereas you would have before taken like a Xanax or...
So yeah, Xanax was a big thing for me, because after my first, they put me on Xanax, and it was easy. Like, I could just go into a situation that I knew I was going to have anxiety, and that fixed it.
Right.
But now, like, we've had certain incidences with the anxiety before that I had told you about, and I had to work through it. Like, I could feel it, and then, so you taught me square breathing, which I still use every single day. It's not a flip that switches either.
Right.
Switch that flips. But it is having to work every day at it.
Right.
But, so it's not like once you know these things, all of a sudden your life is glitter and rainbows.
And a lot of the times, and a lot of the times, the tools that you get for one situation later can help you in a completely different situation.
Well, and that's where, like, our stuff hasn't ever stopped, because I just get into new situations, and you're like, I know, you know this stuff, it's just applied differently. But the square breathing helps me literally every single day. But I don't have anxiety the way I did. I just have overwhelming feelings, and I know what to do with them now. The depression, for me, the depression was a reprogramming your subconscious.
Right.
It was literally not just thinking different, because I think that is so easy to just say when somebody has depression, just think differently.
Right.
But it's the actual work to go in and change thoughts that you can't control.
What is the difference in that for you? The difference in just thinking differently, or...
Because when I had the depression, or still do, I just do it differently.
Right.
I think I'm more just susceptible to feeling. But just thinking differently, I think, is so hard to say to somebody that has those thoughts, because if they could think differently, they would. Right. It's not like they're asking to think that way. But
it's like outwardly convincing yourself.
Yeah, but also having the confidence that I didn't have.
Right.
But having the confidence to know that I could do it.
To a lot of self-worth.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. Self-worth, self-confidence. And then, like, it's like it was a step process. Like, I had to get that thing first before I could reprogram anything.
Right. And I think that's another thing too. A lot of people go straight for the thinking different or acting different, and don't
if you're not
realize,
capable, you're not.
Right. Don't realize that it's like you don't just slap a Band-Aid on a cut. You have to wash the cut first.
Right.
You have to make sure there's no dirt or glass in the cut, and then, you know, work on healing the cut. It's not just like you go straight to the end of, oh, well, I need to think different. Well, first we have to figure out why we're thinking the way we're thinking.
Yes.
And fix that, and then the rest will take care of itself naturally.
And that was another thing that I wanted going into this therapy, was not just to feel it and not to control it, but to understand it.
Right.
Because I had all these feelings and I didn't understand any of it, and I wanted the knowledge to... I can't just control the emotions without having the knowledge of it.
So what do you say to people watching today on your first live or your first YouTube introductory video about listening to this and hearing that you've been doing this for a year now, and on top of anxiety and depression, now they're getting overwhelmed, like, oh my gosh, a year, you know, like that sounds like so much. Like, what do you have to say to those people?
It flew by. Like, to me, even looking back, a year and a half has flown by. And I can say, like, I feel 100% different. I still have bad days. I have days where I message you and I'm like, I need help. But I no longer feel like anything is controlling me. I feel so much more in control and happy and confident in myself. And to even think that this in another year could feel even better is like completely, just like it was mind-blowing in the beginning that I could even feel this way, it's completely mind-blowing to think that in another year it could be
how good are
different.
You gonna feel?
Yeah. So I just say, like, this doesn't have to be your life. You don't have to be miserable. You don't have to hurt. And there is another side of it. And I've been on the other side, so I know that you can come to the other side. So I'm not just somebody that's just telling you to draw some rainbows and throw some glitter on it. Like,
and wait a
hard
year.
work.
Then the time is going to pass anyway.
Yeah.
So spend the next year miserable, or spend the next year figuring out that feeling in control of your life isn't needing to have control over the experiences you have, but more control over how you feel experiencing those
and you
things.
can thrive. You don't just have to survive. Like, you don't have to just float through life. You can love it and enjoy it, and you're still going to have bad days, and it's still going to be hard, but it's worth it.
You'll have the tools to take care of it.
100%.
Well, I hope you guys have enjoyed Karen's introductory video. I have. I hope you have.
Yeah.
And if you want to know more about Karen's lifelong journey with the anxiety and depression and multiple other emotions that she's dealt with and over the last year, and things that she continues to deal with, make sure you tune in next Monday, because that's going to be her first solo vid all on her own, and we're super excited to bring these messages to you. So we love you guys, and we send you all the love and light, and thank you so much for tuning in. We're really excited. We'll see you next week. Bye.